What's up everyone? Today we're talking about heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Specifically, what it is, who's at risk, how to prevent it, how to prepare for it, and how to treat it. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Tan, and I am passionate about sharing medical information that help you push the limits of adventure. So if that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing to my YouTube and Instagram. Click the subscribe button now and put on the little bell notification below. Story time. I gotta share this story with you guys. Last year I was in Hong Kong. It was one of the hottest temperatures recorded in the past 50 years. I had to get out of the city, so I went online, looked up a blog, found a few hiking spots. First one was great. The second one was a little harder. It was a 10-mile hike in, and at the end you reach a private beach. You could rent a tent, get resupplied for food and water, and then continue the loop back. I started with 4 liters of water, a long sleeve shirt, long sleeve pants that can zip off, and I had this shamag with me. And as I passed these miles, 5, 6, 7, I finally get to the 10th mile. I land on the beach, and there is no village for resupply, there is no refill for water, and there is no tents. That village was closed down and the government took it over. So I was there with minimal water, limited food, and without a shelter. Now I can talk to you all day about building emergency shelters, but at that time, my biggest worry was heat stroke. You know, I started at 8 a.m. and I was hiking through till noon, the hottest temperatures. And I started to feel some of the symptoms of heat stroke. Headache, dizziness, I started to notice my heart rate increase and I started to have blurry vision. Knowing about exertional heat stroke is essential. The most recent 2014 updates on the guidelines to treat, manage, and prevent heat stroke shows that 10% of people who suffer heat stroke end up in the hospital or passing away. And it's also been shown that that rate increases to 33%. Think about it, 1 in 3 people die from heat stroke if they present with heat stroke and hypotension or low blood pressure, if not adequately treated in the right amount of time. The low blood pressure can be a combination of things, typically from dehydration and dependent heat-related edema, where all the blood pools in your lower extremities or your legs and they don't get back to your heart, so your blood pressure tanks. Did you know that you can actually be at risk for heat stroke? Here are the main risk factors. 1, dehydration. 2, previous heat stroke. 3, obesity or overweight. 4, poor cardiac training or conditioning. How can we prevent heat stroke? 1, recognize the signs and symptoms, know how to treat it, know how to prepare, and know what to avoid. So how do you prepare for heat stroke? You can do heat conditioning. Heat training includes 1 to 2 hours of exposures to high temperatures up to 2 weeks. And this training helps your body adapt to that temperature. Also, make sure you're hydrated at all times and not only water, but bring electrolytes with you. That is extremely important because dehydration causes electrolyte abnormalities that affect your heart, that affect your muscles, and affect your kidneys. So electrolytes, always important to bring. Make sure you have the proper gear. The best thing to wear is something that promotes heat exchange from your body to the outside environment. I'm talking about clothing that helps with conduction, convection, evaporation, and protection from the radiation of the sun. As you can see, I'm wearing a shamag. This is just 1 square knot on the shoulder. I'm protected from the sun because I can put this as a hoodie. My shoulders are protected, my arms are protected when I'm walking. Now this is extremely light. Allows evaporation because the wind is blowing and it is free flowing. How do you treat heat exhaustion, which is the mild form of heat stroke? Number 1, get out of that environment. Number 2, hydrate. 1 to 2 liters of water and electrolytes. And if your clothes are restrictive, take it off, let yourself cool down. That includes tops and bottoms. That's why I like these materials so much, because there's so much free flowing air, and the tops and bottoms for this is extremely fast wicking. Now for heat stroke, the one thing that differentiates it is your presentation with altered mental status. What does that mean? It means that you're confused, you're making rash decisions, your coordination can be altered, you're not making a whole lot of sense when you're talking. You need to get out of the heat now. The difference is that at this time, your body is shutting down and your organs will start to be affected. So the number 1 therapy for this is total submersion. The US military's research on heat stroke has shown that an ice slurry bath has the best response. However, in this environment, we typically don't have a place that someone can be submerged in water. The second best bet is take a material, soak that in water, and place it on the person you're taking care of or yourself. Now, one trick that you can do, you'll notice that the water in the soaked rag will become warm. What you do is you take it off the body and you just whip it around a little bit. The convection and the evaporation from the movement in the air will make the cloth cold again, and you can replace that on the person every few minutes. One thing I would caution when you are taking care of someone who has heat stroke is make sure they're breathing, they have a pulse. If both of those are not present, you need to address those first, and actually submerging when they're not breathing or they don't have a pulse is extremely dangerous, especially when there's a current and they can drown. So take care of your ABCs in your first aid as per usual. I hope you like this video. If there's anything you want to learn more about, please let me know in the comments below. Whether that's travel related, wilderness survival, or adrenaline sports, I have you all covered. But information can only get you so far. That's why, for those of you who are still watching now, please check out my free giveaways. I am giving $300 worth of free gear. So just click the link below and I'll see you on the other page. Until next time, stay safe out there and adventure on.